Hey guys, Brian Cain here. We're at the beautiful Gaylord Opryland Hotel in Nashville, Tennessee, 2011 American Baseball Coaches Association National Clinic. Just getting packed up here in the hotel room. Got my fire shooter. Got our necessary props here. I got the flaming wand that somebody who today hopefully is their birthday, and the best birthday gift they'll have is a life-changing experience that they'll remember forever, that will give them confidence and mental toughness, and most importantly, remind them to follow the fundamentals, which are going to help them be successful. We're also, going to be speaking today in front of an audience of about 5,000 to 6,000 people, which we're excited about. And then we're going to do a little Q&A, hopefully get some testimonials from people to see what they thought. But at today's seminar, you're going to see some fun things. You're going to see people breaking boards over their heads. You're going to see people eating fire. You're going to see people walking on a 4x4 on the ground. And then we'll put that 4x4 up in the air about 6 feet. You'll see somebody walk across that. And I'm going to do my best to try to get college and high school baseball coaches up out of their seats, on their feet, and participating in today's seminar and presentation. So, should be a lot of fun. It's now 2:15, and I'm on in less than an hour, so I'm going to start making my way down to the convention center, and let's get after it. Everybody up out of your seats and on your feet. Everybody up out of your seats, on your feet. Nashville, if you can hear me now, give me one loud power clap. Hear me now, give me two. Give me three. Make a fist with your right hand. Give me an awesome. Let's try that again. Give me one power clap. Give me two. Give me three. Give me an awesome. Put your hands on your hips like you got the 6-gun shooter here. On the count of 3, I want you to go boom. 1, 2, 3. On the count of 3, I want you to go ska. 1, 2, 3. Ska. On the count of 3, I want you to get into the crane kick position and go wah. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Now I need you to go back to back with a partner. Back to back with a partner, and on the count of 3, you're going to do one of those 3 movements, turning around, trying to guess which one your partner is doing. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. I can try that one more time. Try that one more time. Back to back. On the count of 3, turn around, guess again. Some of you are going, come on, man, figure this thing out. This isn't that hard. There's only 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Excellent. Hey, before you sit down, quick poll of the audience, Nashville. How many of you, by a show of right hands, coaches, have either heard me speak before or today is your very first time? Get the cobwebs out, fellas. Every hand should have been up there. Please take a seat. And as you sit down, I want you to give me what I call 30 seconds of totally undivided attention. I want you to take your eyes and ears, lock them in here. Sit up straight in the chair, feet flat on the floor, hands on the lap in front of you. Give me 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Coaches, for a short period of time, you can do anything you want with your levels of attention, energy, and focus. Right now, the focus in this room is different than it was 10 seconds ago. Feel that. You see, this is where the great coaches are. This is where the great athletes have had a chance to work with. This is where they live. Because they understand it's about right now. It's not about spending time. We're not going to spend 38 minutes together. We're going to invest time. And you invest time, you get a return. So throughout this seminar, if you have space out or you get tired or you catch yourself checking a text, I want you to get locked in for 30 seconds. That's 30 seconds. Go ahead and space out, space out. Now, the other thing that I've seen with great coaches, and today my goal is to share with you some of the fundamentals, things that I've learned from working with some of the best programs in America, is that great coaches have great energy. And sometimes they don't feel like having great energy. And you've all heard that statement. Finish it for me, please, Nashville. Fake it till you... Say it again, fake it till you. One more time, fake it till you. You see, I'll ask you to repeat things 3 times, because when you repeat things 3 times, research shows that you've got an 18% chance of remembering that which you repeated. But they've got great energy. They fake it till they make it, and they force themselves to act different than how they feel. So if you don't have energy right now, Nashville, that's okay. I want you to force yourself to act different than how you feel, and show me what you do when you hear this song. Show me something, Nashville. Give me some energy. Let me see the feet. Let me see the hands. Let me see some energy here, ABCA. Show me something. Let me see you get after this thing. I need you all to get fired up. Because remember, energy is contagious. The question is yours worth catching? Let me see it, Nashville. Let me hear you. I need you guys to get fired up. Because when you get fired up here, Nashville, I'm getting fired up. We got to get after this thing. Remember, the energy is contagious. So give me one loud power clap. Give me 1. Give me 2. Give me 3, and give me an awesome. Now, as Coach alluded to, I will be taking a sabbatical next year to pursue the mental game full-time and to try to improve my number 5 ranking.
2010 Winter Olympics, Vancouver, Team USA only took the top 4. Only took the top 4. I was unable to go to Vancouver and represent Team USA. I learned a lot of things through failure. Remember, one of the key components of the mental game, because baseball is a game of failure, is that failure is positive feedback. What do you learn from failure? You see, in the sport that I play, I want to share with you and play together for about 15 seconds. And as we play together, I'll probably knock every one of you out 4 or 5 times, but I want you just to continue to play. So the sport that I'm ranked 5th in the country, 1 spot away from Vancouver, is called Simon Says. So everybody, please stand up as we get started. Please stand up. Please stand up. Nashville, if you stood up, I've already got you out once. Go ahead and sit back down. Oh, if you sat back down, I've already got you out twice. Simon Says, please stand up. Simon Says, please stand up. Play with me here. Simon Says, do a little dance. And stop. You stop, that's 3. Simon Says, stop. Simon Says, clap your hands. Do it again. Always get people on that one too. Hey, Simon Says, take your right hand, put it in the air. I don't know why so many of you were shaking that hand. Simon Says, take that hand and make a circle. Simon Says, take that circle and put it on your chin. Now take a look around the room, because this is your cheek last time I checked. Right? This is your chin. Simon Says, game's over. Please take a seat and give me 30 seconds to undivided attention. I want to explain what just happened. Get locked in. 30 seconds. Ready, set, go. Coaches, understand this. You want to be an effective coach? You want to be a coach of excellence? You want to be a coach of significance? Your athletes are going to follow more of what you do than of what you say. Simon Says, you didn't follow what I said, you followed what I did, and that's exactly what your athletes do. So are you a coach that talks about the process and then sells out to outcome? Are you a coach that talks about having systems to slow the game down and routines and breathing, but then you yell at your players to speed it up a little bit? So you got to understand that your actions are going to speak a lot louder than your words, and that's 30 seconds. Please space out. Now you see, coaches, I had 2 great mentors, Ken Ravizza, a guy named Rob Gilbert, and I've talked with many other mental game experts, Harvey Dorfman. And one of the key things they've all told me is that one of the first places to work with an athlete, if you're trying to change their mental game, is to go after their perspective. Let me show you why. Raise a hand, coaches, if you have ever seen this logo before. Almost every hand in this room is up. Now hands down. Coaches, let me ask you this. Raise a hand if you have ever seen the arrow inside of that logo. About a quarter of the hands that go up. Coaches, I want you to look at this FedEx logo with new eyes. I want you to look at between the orange E and the orange X at the white arrow. How many of you right now see that arrow? Give me 30 seconds to undivided attention. Ready, set, go. What just happened is called a paradigm shift. What just happened is you saw something you've always seen before with a set of brand new eyes. You've always seen that FedEx logo before, but maybe never seen the arrow. And from now until the day you die, every time you look at that logo, what do you think you're going to look at? The arrow. It's impossible to avoid it. And that's exactly what I want you to do walking out of this next 40-minute session. Is I want you to see the game of baseball with new eyes. I want you to see arrows inside of yourself, inside of your team, and inside of this great game that we've all dedicated our lives to, that have always been there, that you've never seen before. And in order to do that, we've got to celebrate birthdays. So does anybody have a birthday today? Anyone's birthday today? Coach, come on up here, please. If it's your birthday, please come up here on stage. Thank you. Come on up here. Let me come down and see you. What's your name, Coach? Tony? Donnie. Let's sing happy birthday to Donnie on the count of 3. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Donnie, here's the thing. We're going to play a game here. It's your birthday. I've got 2 options for you. Option A, I can give you my new book, Toilets, Bricks, Fishhooks, and Pride, an introduction to peak performance CD that you can listen to in your car, enrolling in Automobile University. A brick and a toilet, option A. Option B, all of this into life-changing experience today that you'll walk out of this room remembering for the rest of your life. You get A and B if you choose B.
Do I have a box?
Yes.
Okay.
B. Option B. Fantastic. Here are those items. Now, option B, the life-changing experience that you will leave out of this room and remember forever, is about following the fundamentals. Now, if you take a look at the screen there, that is Drew Pomerantz, first-round draft pick out of University of Mississippi last year. And what he's doing is exactly what you're going to do. You follow the fundamentals, you're going to have success. Let's put those on the floor. Now, here's the fundamentals of eating fire. Are you right-handed or left-handed? I'm coming over here. Now, I want you to hold this at the base. Okay, you're going to follow the fundamentals. You follow the fundamentals, you have success. This is just like baseball. It's about game-like practice. I'm trying to put you in a very uncomfortable situation to get you to rely on the fundamentals. You rely on the fundamentals, you have success. You go away from the fundamentals, you get burned. Here we go. Arm out straight. Head back, lips towards the ceiling. Inhale completely. Put it in your mouth and close. Put this in your mouth and close. Okay, now notice his lips are faced this way. Release, relax. I need your head to go back, lips towards the ceiling, and now inhale completely, and now stick it in your mouth and close. Leave it there for 5 seconds. Bang. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Those are the fundamentals right there, Donnie. Now, here's what we're going to do. Release. Okay, take a good deep breath. Relax a little bit. Now, I want you to imagine there's a 1-foot flame, okay? What you just did, we're sticking a 1-foot flame on the end of this wand. Trust me, Donnie, that if you do the same exact thing, you execute those fundamentals, you're going to have success. You a pitching coach? This is like going from the bullpen to Omaha, man, but it's the same thing. It's still what's the distance in your bullpen, home plate to the mound? 60 feet, 6 inches. How far is it in Omaha? 60 feet, 6 inches. How far is it in Yankee Stadium? 60 feet, 6 inches. It's about making a pitch. The fundamentals are the fundamentals. Let me see you show this crowd the fundamentals. Remember, arm out, head back, inhale, put it in and close. Well, hang on. Head back, inhale, put it in and close. Leave it there 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Open. Yes! Outstanding! Follow the fundamentals. Thank you for playing. Appreciate you. Give him one loud power clap. Give him 1. Give him 2. Give him 3. And give him an awesome. Now, as we continue to see, what are the fundamentals of the mental game? I always get asked, what are the fundamentals of the mental game? Well, big hero of mine, John Wooden. I've kind of taken a concept from him because anybody who has anything good probably stole it from somewhere. And I put together what I call the Peak Performance Mountain. It's a program called Pride, Personal Responsibility and Daily Excellence. There are 18 different levels. And in this program, which is a DVD program that you can pick up, it's got 20-minute videos that outline each of these things. One of the key fundamental areas, as Coach Bianco talked about this morning, is developing core covenants. And if any of you are familiar with Bruce Brown out of Seattle, Washington, who spoke here before, has had a tremendous impact on my career. And Bruce always talks about the foundation of the program has got to be the core covenants. So one of the big things in my work now is going into programs and saying, who are you as a program? So Coach, let me ask you this question. Give me 30 seconds to invite attention, please. Sit up straight in the chair, feet flat on the floor, hands on the lap in front of you. Ready, set, go. When you go back to your program, have every staff member and every player take an index card. Ask them to write down in 2 to 3 character traits, call them elements of excellence, call them core covenants, what your program is all about. See if everyone's on the same page. You see, if not everyone's on the same page in identifying who you are as a program, you're only going to slap people around. But once you have every man in your program saying, this is who we are, we're about relentless excellence, belief and selfless, that's when you get that fist and everyone can be on the same page, but they will have no chance of being on the same page unless you create with them that page to be on. That's 30 seconds, space out. Here's how you create that page. 4-step process. The first one, identify and define who you are as a program. Second thing, describe what those things look like in the 4 key areas: school, community, practice, and games. Then have a public declaration where they sign their name to it and say, I will live these core covenants as a member of this program. And then the challenging part is living them every day. Coastal Carolina University last year had a chance to work with the Chanticleers. They came up with 2 core covenants: selfless and relentless. You can see on the top the definition. You can see the 4 boxes underneath selfless and relentless. Those are very specific. This is what it looks like. And for me, why this is better than just creating a mission statement or a paragraph that hangs on a wall is you can see it. And if you want to see it more closely, email me at brian@briancain.com and I'll send you a copy. 3 magic words. Let's talk about perspective with the mental game. I mean, we live in a negative society. We coach in a negative game. And we've got to remember 3 things when our athletes are getting negative, where they think something is difficult. Remember these three words, compared to what? I mean, eating fire is difficult compared to what? Compared to being in Iraq right now, fighting for our country, that's difficult. Eating fire, speaking in front of 5,000 people is difficult. Compared to what? Compared to losing your mother when you're 32 years old to lung cancer, that's difficult. This is easy. And sometimes we have athletes that think, you know what, I can't do it, coach. I can't throw 90. I can't get this bunt down. I can't do this. I can't do that. Once they say they can't do it, the door slams shut in their face. That's why they got to add the three magic letters, Y-E-T. I can't do it yet. I can't do it yet. When you leave the Y-E-T at the end, it gives them that opportunity to blow through that door. I want to share an activity you can do with your team. It's called a perspective poster. Have your athletes find photographs, things going on in world news, things important to them in their personal life. Put them on a poster so that when they look at this poster every day, it hangs on their desk, it hangs in their locker, it hangs in their binder. For you as a coach, create one of these, put it at your desk where you can see it every day. Because this game is designed to beat you up. And this will remind you that no matter what you endure in baseball, it's nothing compared to these things. Pat Tillman, 9/11, my mother in the center. What about this athlete, Kyle Maynard? Great book he just wrote called No Excuses. A congenital amputee, arms end at the elbows, legs end at the knees. He becomes a championship wrestler in high school. He then goes on and is now fighting in mixed martial arts. Then what you do is you take these individual perspective posters. You have athletes share them in front of the team, and then you create a team perspective poster. An idea I got from Skip Bertman in his great video, Winning the Big One. If you don't have the video by Bertman, Winning the Big One, your library is incomplete. Please get it to make yourself a better coach. It's fantastic. You take the perspective poster. You hang it by the bat rack in the dugout. You hang it in the weight room when they think that they're tired and beat up from lifting. They go to the perspective poster. It reminds them that they get to, not have to, participate in this activity, about all the great things that are going on. It shifts their perspective. Hey, I want you to give me one loud power clap for perspective. Give me one. Give me two. Give me three. And give me an awesome. Somebody that taught me an awful lot about perspective, because I think we learn as coaches so much from our athletes. Pitcher at the University of Iowa named Casey O'Rourke. Casey coming off of a great season, summer baseball. Goes back to Iowa, high expectations for a successful season. Goes to the doctor, finds out he's got cancer. It's unfair. It's unfair. But the thing I learned from Casey is that sometimes the things that we see as the worst thing that ever happened to us turn around and become the best things that ever happened to us. And I said, Casey, how is that possible? Tell me what you learned from having cancer that you never would have known if you hadn't had this happen. He said, Coach, the thing I learned is to don't count the days, make the days count. Don't count the days, make the days count. And he went on to say, you know, every one of us in this room, we have the same thing. We have those 86,400 seconds every day. It's one of the only similarities that we all have, regardless of level or where we coach. And we've got to make the most out of that time. And one of the ways you make the most out of that time is you understand this, the difference between the get to and have to mentality. In the great run that TCU went on last year, and Coach Schlossnagel had a wonderful chance to get to know him over the last 5 years, been a mentor to me, one of the best coaches in college baseball, and he hangs these signs in his dugout. And he gives a copy of the sign to his athletes to hang in their rooms and their dorms. And the reason is, it's called McDonald's theory. How many of us right now, by a show of hands, think that you can make a hamburger as good or better than McDonald's? Raise a hand, please. Okay, let me ask you this question then. Those of you that raise your hand, why are you sitting here as an underpaid baseball coach and they're making billions? The answer is that they advertise about great hamburgers. You have got to advertise to your athletes about the mentality and the things that you want them to think. You got to advertise to them about the mentality that they want. So you're hanging signs so that when they see it, it's a reminder to them, get to versus have to. Good friend of mine, Eric Bakich, the coach at the University of Maryland, last year they got hit with the worst snowstorm in D.C. history. They had to make a decision. Do we have to practice in the snow? Do we get to practice in the snow? They went higher level. Damn it, we want to practice in the snow. Get the shovels, shovel off the field, let's get after this thing. And the thing that Eric taught his players that day is not a baseball skill. It's a life skill. And coaches, give me 30 seconds till you invited attention, please. Ready, set, go. Remember this. very few athletes will come back to you and say, Coach, thanks for teaching me how to throw that curveball. You've made a difference in my life. But many, many of them, and this is why I love the mental game, will come back and say, thanks for teaching me how to focus process over outcome. Thanks for teaching me confidence is a choice. Thanks for teaching me have to versus get to. And thanks for teaching me that you can't make excuses or you can make it happen, but you can't do both. Those are life skills. And that's, I think, one of the greatest successes we have in coaching is when athletes come back and share with us what they've learned through our sport that will make them successful. Another key thing about how do you go from not making excuses to making it happen, you understand, as they do at TCU, that it's will over skill. I need someone who agrees with me that it's will over skill to come up here on the stage, please. Someone who agrees with me that it's all about will over skill, please come up here on stage. I love it. That's effort right there. Fantastic. What's your name? Sean. Thank you for coming up here. I need you to help me move these blocks to the front of the stage, please. Sean, where do you coach? Atlanta, Georgia. Outstanding. Let's get these other ones. If I get some help, maybe somebody in the front row want to come up and help us move some blocks. It's a heavy prop-laden activity here. Not everybody at once. It's outstanding. Now, Sean, you believe in will over skill, is that correct? You believe in will over skill? You believe in using your head as a coach? You believe in the mental game? Excellent, because you're about to use your head to break through that board. See, it's about will over skill. It's about not have to, but you get to put your head through this board. Now, this is a lot more fun doing this than talking about breathing. Okay, but breathing is important. We'll talk about that stuff over there. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to understand will over skill. I want you to put your hands on the side of the blocks here. I want you to put your crown of your head right there. Now, whatever you want, okay? Think about what you want. You want a championship season. You want a successful season. What you want is not to it, it's through it, okay? It's about adversity. It's about fighting through adversity and embracing adversity because it's going to be there. So when you're ready, I want you not to go to the board. I want you to go through the board. You got me? Through the board. Clap, get a clap going here, audience. Through the board. 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 Yes! Outstanding. Don't go to it, go through it. Let me give you this piece of wood to take back with you. You get a copy of the new book, Toilets, Bricks, Fixtures, and Pride. Outstanding, Sean. Well done. Give him a round of applause. Remember, you don't go to the adversity, you go through the adversity. A lot of people run away from adversity. I used to think that, adversity was a negative thing. You got to run through it, not to it. And when you do things like this, you talk about will over skill. This is something your athletes will take confidence from, something they'll understand that they can build off of. Talk about how do you build off of that, understanding will over skill. Coastal Carolina last year hung a sign in their dugout, said, so what, next pitch? They had the toilet and the bat rack. Because remember that we are in a game of failure. And the quickest way to get over failure back into the positive present is to talk. Because when you talk, you are not in your own head, you are external. So when someone says, so what, next pitch? That helps you get past the negative. Read up on Coach K. There was an article in ESPN the magazine with Loud on the cover and why Duke basketball talks so much. They talk so much to get out of their own head, and that's exactly why I love So What Next Pitch. So What Next Pitch happens to be what was inscribed on the 2004 Cal State Fullerton National Championship ring after they started 15-16 and then won the national title. Other thing, Alabama, University of Alabama softball, head coach Patrick Murphy last year, #1 team in the country. Won the SEC conference, SEC tournament, #1 team in the postseason. They talk at Alabama all the time about process over outcome. Process being the things we can control. Outcome, you can't. If you're talking about outcome, winning and losing, instead of making pitches, quality at-bats, all the things you can do to give yourself the best chance for success, you are beating yourself. And in the process, coaches, give me 30 seconds to about attention. Ready, set, go. Understand your two opponents in this great game of baseball are yourself and the game. You go out there, if you play to the best of your ability and you respect the game and you play the game the right way, you give yourself the best chance for success, and that's all you can do. It doesn't matter who's in the other dugout. It matters how you play. And we've all heard this statement, right? Practice makes perfect. Throw that statement out of the window as if you never heard it. And take the other one. Perfect practice makes perfect. That doesn't exist either. Practice makes permanent. Practice makes permanent. And the best teams in the country, any sport, practice the best. Bottom line. Practice makes permanent. And across the way here, we'll talk about ways to increase the intensity and the quality of your practice. Now, I want to talk with you about an athlete for the pleasure of working with that has epitomized process over outcome. How many of you are familiar with the Ultimate Fighting Championship? Raise a hand. How many of you are familiar with Georges St. Pierre? Georges St. Pierre had a chance to work with him after he lost his world championship title in 2007 as a heavily favored fighter against a guy named Matt Serra. I want you to listen to what Georges St. Pierre says about that fight, about it being the best thing that ever happened to him for his career, and about him then realizing that it's not the best fighter who ever wins, it's the guy who fights the best. And in our sport, the best team never wins, it's the team that plays the best. Let's take a look.
I see a sport psychologist. His name is Brian Cain. He's also one of my good friends, and he made me see this loss like a positive experience. And it's the best thing ever happened to me. I lost a lot. I learned a lot of stuff from it, and I come back stronger. I truly believe that I'm the best fighter in the world, and but it's any sport. In every sport is the same story. It's not the best team who win in baseball. It's the team who plays the best. It's not the fastest horse who win the race. It's the horse who races the best. And Saturday night, even though I believe that I'm the best fighter in the world, Saturday night, the guy who's going to win the fight is the guy who fight the best, who will fight the best. And I'm very glad to fight Josh Koscheck. He's the #1 guy right now after the title holder. So I want to get back to what I lost, and I go step by step.
I go step by step. I'm working the process. And a part of that process that George is talking about, and something that we've used with the college baseball teams I work with a lot, is this idea of the next 200 feet. Well, what's the next 200 feet? The next 200 feet is, let's imagine we are in Burlington, Vermont, where I live, and we want to drive across the country to Cal State Fullerton. We leave at midnight. It's completely dark, and the sun doesn't come up for our entire trip. Can we drive across the country in complete darkness? The answer is yes, but our headlights only let us see 200 feet of the road. So you drive that 200 feet, you drive the next 200 feet, you drive the next 200 feet, and eventually you get to where you want to go. Is there going to be adversity? Yes. Count on it. Are you going to get a flat tire? Yes. Are you going to hit a deer? Yes. If you are from Texas, are you probably going to get out and take the meat that you can? Yes. But we know there's going to be adversity. You're going to get off the wrong exit. Just get back in the car and drive 200 feet at a time. This mentality helps you stay in the present. This mentality also helps you to avoid stepping up. I need someone to come up here, please, who believes and agrees with me that stepping up is one of the worst things you can do. Anyone, please. Anyone come on up here. Talk about stepping up is one of the worst things that you can do. One of the worst things you can do is step up as an athlete. One of the worst things you can do. Come on up here. Fantastic. Let's give him a golf clap, please. Come on up here. Oh, beat you to it. I like that. Now I got guys competing. Give him a golf clap. What's your name, sir?
Rusty.
Rusty, thanks for coming up here. Rusty, now, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go heel to toe across this board. Downtown Nashville, maybe. Now, Rusty, let me ask you, was that very difficult? Fantastic. Let's hop off the board here. You see, you ever thought about stepping up, or you've heard people talk about stepping up, right? See, the worst thing you can do is step up. If you're going to step up when you get to Omaha, why don't you step up in this meeting, coach? If you're going to step up on day 1 of practice, why don't you step up in this meeting? Try this activity with your team. It's called walk the plank if you want to give them a physical reminder about quality practice. Rusty, come on back here with me. Grab that ladder. Move that pitcher's mound, please. Yeah, I'll get that out of there. Excellent. Let's turn that thing around. Now, Rusty, I want you to climb to the top of this ladder and sit right there. No, not from the back, from the front. We got a lot of OSHA people out here making sure we do this right way. Sit up there for me, my friend. Now, As you sit there, what we're gonna do is we walked across this board on the ground. That's like practice. It's really easy. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna raise the stakes. We're gonna take this board. We're gonna increase the risk. Because when you go on to the playoffs, when you play in a conference championship, the risk increases. Rusty, let me ask you something. Has this game changed? You don't think the game's changed? You mean, look at this board. It could knock that ladder over. This board could break in half. This game has changed. What do you mean it hasn't changed? Board is the same length. Well, it's the same exact board you just walked across, isn't it? Same exact board you just walked across. Coaches, give me 30 seconds. Pulling invited attention. Rusty, stay right there. Ready, set, go. Here's exactly what happens. Athletes are in practice. They focus on what is, current moment. They go into a big game. What is shifts into what if. What if I fall? What if this? What if that? When your athletes are thinking what if and thinking outcome, man, crank on that mental emergency brake because they are going to beat themselves. Have that conversation about the difference between what is and what if. Now, if I had more time, I'd call people up here and have you spot Rusty as he walks across this board, something you do with your team. You then take a piece of the board, maybe cut off a 1-foot section, paint it your school colors, and carry it with you everywhere you go as a reminder that when you play the game of baseball, you compete against two people, yourself in the game, never the other team. They walk the plank, reminds them to focus on quality practice. Rusty, let me help you down here, man. Outstanding. Let me give you a copy of the book, Toilets, Bricks, Fish Hooks, and Pride, on sale today for $20 across the room. Outstanding. Thank you very much. Let's give them a round of applause. Last couple of things. Remember, quality practice. One of the most important, if not the most important aspect of everything we're going to talk about today. How do you increase quality of practice? Remember that rewarded behavior is repeated behavior. Rewarded behavior is repeated behavior. That which you reward, you will get more of. Praise the guys for being there early publicly. Don't say anything to the guy that's there late publicly. Athletes want two things. They want to hear their name attached to a positive specific. You do that, you're going to get more of what you reward. The other thing is that measurement equals motivation. Measurement equals motivation. Coach Bianco talked about this morning, the yellow jersey given to the best defensive player of the day. You buy a $10 t-shirt. Every day somebody takes it away like it's a championship belt. It's always on the line. Nobody deserves the yellow jersey that day. You keep it. It's a vacant title. At the end of the fall, whoever has the best defensive effort in practice gets to take the yellow jersey. Other things that we've seen. University of California, Irvine in 2007 wanted to change a culture of a program. We talked about let's be the best in the country at clearing the infield. Let's do it under time. One of the things I want you to do is I want you to stick a stopwatch on your infield and outfield, and every day you go out, you compete with yourself to do better at infield and outfield. Another mentor of mine, Tim Corbin, talks about the national anthem, and there are no little things. If we're going to stand for the anthem, we need to practice the anthem. Coach, I want you to raise a hand if you practice the national anthem. Take a look around the room, man. That's one thing you can do walking out of here to make your program better. Now I need 2 volunteers to finish us off here. I need 2 people that are about the same size, that maybe know each other. That's fine, I'll take any 2. Any 2 that want to come up here. You guys are about the same size, this will work. Now this is a high-risk activity. This is about being positive. What's your name, sir?
Mike.
Mike, thanks for coming up. What's your name?
Jimmy.
Jimmy, thanks for coming up. This is a high-risk activity. If at any point you guys don't want to do this, okay, this is what we call challenge by choice. You just choose anyone else in the audience, okay? We're talking about being positive. We're talking about bend but never break. And being positive is focused on what you want, not what you're trying to avoid. So in this activity, I want you to focus on commitment, effort, and just going through the adversity. Not everything else, not all the what-ifs that could happen, okay? This activity is called the bend but never break. I want everybody in the audience, please take your pointer finger, tap yourself on the sternum. Take that finger, move that finger up your throat till you tap yourself on your throat here. That doesn't feel very good. Go right above your sternum. There's a little hole in your throat. Once you dig that finger inside of that hole, doesn't feel very good either. But watch what these guys are going to do. You're going to take this dollar bill. I want you to put that dollar bill over that spot on your throat. And I'm going to take this piece of rebar. I want you to come over here, over here. You're going to put this rebar in that spot on your throat. You're going to put this rebar on that spot on your throat. Now, here's what's going to happen, okay? If you're committed and you're committed, Committed to the activity, committed to each other. You two are gonna sprint at each other. This rebar is gonna bend in half. Okay? Now, I want you to take your hands, I want you to put your hands where you get those calluses from hitting. I want you to put those calluses right around that rebar. Okay? Now what's gonna happen is you come nose to nose, there's gonna be an awful lot of tension on this thing, so that's when you need to grab it so it doesn't jump up and hit you in the mouth or cut your throat. Okay? Now, that doesn't feel very good, but I want you to lean into it and feel it, okay? Lean into it and feel it. You feel that? Feel that? Now, here's what's gonna happen, okay? Release, relax, relax, relax. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get this audience to give you the best clap they've ever done in unison. And then, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go one. I'm gonna say one. Hey, I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, go, and you gotta go, okay? You're just gonna run towards each other. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, go, 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 bang, there it is. Hold this rebar up in the air, fellas. I want you to take a look. You can keep that dollar bill, absolutely, but you can't have both of them. I'm gonna give one to your buddy here, okay? Take a look at this rebar, gentlemen. Here's the deal. Bend but never break, okay? When you were standing here with that rebar in your throat, was it uncomfortable? A little bit uncomfortable, right? And you're thinking, holy cow, this might go through me. And as you go, though, what you realize is it's a lot easier than it looks. And that's exactly the way baseball is. When you make baseball about the game, about competing with yourself and competing against the game doesn't change. What is stays the same. What changes is what if. You play one pitch at a time, focused on the process, in the present, with a positive mentality, focused on what you want, not what you're trying to avoid, and watch your team play to the best of their potential. Give these guys one loud power clap. Give them 2. Give them 3. Give them an awesome. You guys can head back. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. And in closing, just want to ask everybody, again, when we go across the room, we'll talk more about, breathing and signal lights and routines and a lot of the other details of the mental game. If you ever have questions, please send me an email, brian@briancain.com, or a text. Also just came out with my first book, Toilets, Bricks, Fish Hooks, and Pride. We'll have them available across the way. And I want to let you know that I just got a new website, and I have a newsletter that's on there that you can go and sign up for. It's a free audio newsletter. Download it, share it with your players. I think it'll help you get them to buy into the mental game. I've found that athletes nowadays do much better with audio that they can listen to than text that they have to read. Please take your right hand, raise it high. Right hand, raise it high. Pat yourself on the back 3 times. 1, 2, 3. Let me give you 1 power clap. Let me give you 2. Let me give you 3. And let me give you, Nashville, an awesome. Thank you guys very much.